Hello, Algebra 2 students. For Mr. Fry, this is what they were doing in class today for graphing quadratic equations. I have here for you the problems in case you missed them, if you're online and you missed them, or if you're absent or whatever. So here's the problem, and then how I got the axis of symmetry right over here. Remember the axis of symmetry, the equation is negative b over 2a. What's a, b, and c? Remember, a is right here, b is right here, the number before the x, and c is going to be this constant out here. Okay? So I take my negative b, so negative 4 became just 4. 2 times a, 2 times 1 is 2. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. That's my axis of symmetry. It also ends up being my x on the of the coordinate for the vertex. So I'm going to plug that 2 in order to figure out my y, to figure out what y equals, because y equals whatever the x is in this equation. So I just plug the 2 in, and you notice I get 3. So that's how the vertex is 2, 3. That's how you get the axis of symmetry. This is how you get the vertex. Okay, so I have that there. When you graph this, you could use Desmos. Desmos is going to give you some of these other numbers you're going to be able to point out. You could see where it is intersecting, lines on a graph that will help you graph this out. So you're just going to plot these points. I'm not going to do this for all of them, but 0, 7, that would be our y-intercept. 1, 4, 2, 3 starts to go back up, and 4, 7. So you don't have, I talked to Mr. Fry, you don't have to have all these boxes filled. If you at least have 3 points, you have the vertex, and then 2, on the way back up. If it's a positive, then you're good. This one's going to be going down, you'll notice, because there's a negative in front of it. So this one's going to be opening down. It's going to look like a frown. It's going to be this shape, okay, because it's negative. Do the same thing to find the axis of symmetry and the vertex. And I have that problem here. If you want to take a look at it, here's my A, B, and C. Here's the axis of symmetry. Worked it out. Got -5. You could pause this because I know I'm going quickly through it. Plug that in for the x's to find out what y equals, and there's the vertex. These are some points that you can plot looking at Desmos, because in Desmos you could just plug this in, and then you could see where points are to plot. You don't have to have all of these, like I said before. Definitely have the vertex, -5, -1. It's going to start here. That's going to be the high point, and it's going to go like that. C ends up being, when you have this, it's just going to end up being 0. How does that happen? Well, your A is going to be 1. You don't have anything for B. You don't have anything for C, so 0, 0. So it ends up being 0. When you plug 0 in, y ends up being 0. So the vertex is 0, 0. And then, I'm sorry, I haven't been talking about domain and range. All real numbers, because this is going to keep going in this direction and this direction, it's going to cover anywhere on the x-axis. If you follow it up, you will get a point. The problem is with y, if you go on any y down here, it's not going to be on the graph. So it has to be everything at or above 3. So greater than or equal to 3. That's what those domain and ranges are. For D, we have this equation. D, I figured out the axis of symmetry. Here's my A, B, and C. A, B, and C. Figured out that the x, or the axis of symmetry is -1. And then I plug that in to find out what y equals. I get 8. There's my vertex. Domain is going to be all real numbers also. They're all going to be all real numbers for the domain. And here's some points that I got on Desmos that you can plot also. Okay, I just did the front. If you want to look at the back, I do have some answers on the back. I did it the same way. Here's the problem for F. Try F on your own. Try G on your own. Here's H with some answers. And hopefully this helps you guys out. And see you on Monday.